It's PODRZEBIE, the comic book nerdcast that dares to ask, what? Me worry? It's Rambling Men Department.
You know, I did have an alternate title, and that's the Eye of the Beholder Department. You want to know what's on my mind?
What's on your mind?
Eyes.
Oh.
Glass eyes, in fact.
Oh, I thought you meant the letter.
No. Not eyes as in the letter, not eyes as in the animal. You know, that's like a term for a sloth, an eye.
Yeah. Or the thing that pirates say.
Yeah, not like an affirmation, eye.
Yeah.
We're talking about peepers, eyeballs from the human head. I've noticed that there's a lack of people with glass eyes in Hollywood, and I was just wondering what's up with that.
Are you sure that there's not a proliferation of glass eyes and that the technology that the ultra-wealthy Hollywood elites have access to is just so spot on that you don't know?
Well, then, I mean, I think that would make it not a glass eye then.
All right, you're going to have to define your terms here. How do you define a glass eye?
This is very reactionary.
I told you what that means.
Let's go back to a time when Peter Falk was on the television, right? Columbo, famous, glass eye, right? Another hero of mine, Sammy Davis Jr., glass eye. There's hundreds of them I came up with the two, actually. I have to be honest. I mean, that's a pretty good chunk, right? That had to be like 1% of celebrities.
Maybe in a certain apartment complex, that's 1% of celebrities. I don't know. I can't think of any other celebrities with glass eyes that I know of. Now, I would go with a patch myself.
That is true.
You know, because the cool thing about having glasses is that you have a fashion accessory, on your face that you have kind of an excuse to wear.
Yeah, don't I know it? We do have, speaking of patches, I think our eye-patched politicians in the U.S. has gone up tremendously. We do have
because they're all Bond villains.
We have one, though. I forget his name. He was a Navy SEAL, and he got poked in the eye or something.
Oh, Dr. No.
Dr. No.
No, he has the robot hands.
Yeah. Anyway, just like you, all you want to see is more dong and bush in Hollywood. All I want to see is more maimed and dismembered people. All right?
I don't think I said that's all I want to see.
All right.
But I do want to see more of that.
I may have misunderstood the thesis of your Rambling Men last week. 2 weeks ago.
Well, here's what's on my mind. My kid and my wife, every night before he goes to bed, we have a dance party.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's fun. We listen to music and, we listen to all kinds of things. But when he picks the music, things like the Spider-Man theme and Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is, I'm sure, the number one most played song on my Spotify list. But because of that, the other day, Spotify brought up in its sort of predictive algorithm the Popeye song.
Well, blow me down.
What's the Popeye?
Yeah, I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
You know that Popeye.
Song? Popeye, yeah, Popeye. What did I say? Popeye?
Yeah.
I say Popeye. Popeye.
Yeah. Like people on the East Coast who say robot.
It's a different pace of life out here. Anyway, so it's Popeye. And, he's tough to the finish because he eats his spinach, that kind of guy.
I am what I am, an asshole, what I am.
Yeah.
And when I heard it, it brought back this flash of the sort of childhood parody version of this that we used to sing, which was, he's Popeye the Sailor Man. He lives in a garbage can. He turned on the heater and blew off his wiener. He's Popeye the Sailor Man.
We had a different version.
That's what I thought would happen. Yeah. What did you guys sing?
We had, he's Popeye the Sailor Man. He lives in a garbage can. He eats all the worms and spit out the germs. He's Popeye the Sailor Man. I like the wiener one, though.
Well, there was a bunch. There's also, I think, he turned on the gas and burnt off his ass. Kids would sing different ones with that. You'd kind of add some other lines. Yeah. I looked up. I also saw some other ones, including he always goes swimming with bald-headed women. And he lived with his granny and tickled her fanny. He's Popeye the Sailor Man.
Oh, that was an English one.
Yeah, oh yeah. But, it got me thinking about these sort of like childhood parody songs and how they're kind of like early memes, right? Like kids knew them somehow.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because of the internet. So they had these sort of regional variants and they would change over time. And it's like you're not really sure where they started. Just everyone seemed to know them.
Yeah, there was a fun one. I saw a video about the what is the one? Batmobile lost its wheel, and the Joker.
Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg.
I don't know how I forgot the first part of that song. Robin lays an egg, the Batmobile lost a wheel, and the Joker got away. The Simpsons did that, but they said the Joker took ballet, and it sort of changed it nationwide. It used to be more of a regional thing where you would either say the Joker got away or the Joker took ballet. And then once the Simpsons did it, it spread the one across the nation.
I feel like I'm being gaslit now because I seem to recall that episode as being the Joker got away.
Oh, jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. The Batmobile broke its wheel, the Joker got away.
Oh, well, maybe it is. I'm saying this.
I don't know. I might be wrong. That's the version I always knew, and I was thinking that maybe the Simpsons did standardize that one. Maybe there was more variants before that. Is it like Steve Goulet or someone who's singing it?
Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. Batmobile lost its wheel, and the Joker got away. Hey!
Robert Goulet.
Robert Goulet, that's it. I knew it was a Goulet. There's no Steve Goulet, is there? I don't know why I said Steve.
I don't know.
That's my go-to name.
One just came into my mind, one that we sang in school. And I think I may have learned it from my mother or somebody. But we were learning, what is that song? Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling down the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. Glory, hallelujah.
Yeah.
The chorus of that, glory, glory, hallelujah. The version I learned as a kid was, glory, glory, hallelujah. Teacher smacked me with a ruler. I hid behind the door with a loaded 44. Now teacher is no more.
You know what? I don't think I've ever heard that one. I wonder if that's a kind of American one.
It is a quintessentially American song, right? It's like from the Revolution.
Yeah, we had one here to Tiny Toons. Do you remember Tiny Toons?
Yeah, where they're babies, and it's like all the
Well, they're not
bunnies
babies, but they're like in school or whatever.
Okay.
They're probably like teens or whatever at
I'm
best.
thinking, you know what I'm confusing? Muppet Babies and Tiny Toons.
There you go. Yeah. So Tiny Toons came out a little bit later, and it was like the sort of younger versions of, all the Warner Brothers characters. And it had a song that went,
We're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony. And in this cartoony, we're invading your TV.
But in Canada, we had a version that all the kids knew that went, we're tiny, we're toony, we can't afford a loony, because Brian Mulrooney invented GST.
That's a very esoteric song for...
Well, someone's dad must have made it up or something, because like the loonie, that's the Canadian dollar coin, that had only come into like existence a couple years prior.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brian Mulrooney was the prime minister who brought in this new GST tax. So it was like very political, but it was aimed at kids because like adults didn't really watch Tiny Toons, I don't think. Not adults into politics so much.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I like that.
I got a couple more for you. So there's the Arabian Myth. And the one that I always grew up singing was, in the land of Oz, where the women wear no bras, and the men don't care, 'cause they don't wear underwear.
We had that one. Same tune, but there's a place in France where the naked ladies dance. There's a hole in the wall where the men can watch it all.
See, that's more fun. I like that one better.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, I like that it's a little bit more edgy than just like not wearing bras or underwear, which is a normal thing to do. So there's also in the land of Mars where the ladies smoke cigars. And every puff they take is enough to kill a snake. And when the snakes are dead, they put diamonds in their heads. And when the diamonds break, it is 1968.
That's nonsense.
There's a bunch of different versions of it. One of them that kept coming up was In the Land of Ours. And I'm guessing that's where In the Land of Oz sort of came from.
Yeah. Huh.
And then I've got one more, and I'm wondering, just because this is another one I think that maybe you might have a different version of. Tell me if you've ever heard this one. The Addams Family started when Uncle Fester farted. He farted through the keyhole and paralyzed the cat.
It's kind of, what's fun is I'm singing along in my head, and then you go off in like some bizarre direction. The way it goes is, when the Addams Family started, Uncle Fester farted. They all became retarded. The Addams Family.
Okay, so what kind of censorship do you prefer? Do you prefer where we put a bleep in there, or
You can't say word. Yeah, we did.
No, I don't know. I mean, we'll figure out what we'll do about that.
Leave it in.
All right. Well, now that we're canceled, let's leave this department.
Choo choo. Thanks for watching, idiot. Hit like and subscribe. And hey, if you want more black PODRZEBIE podcast, check out the links in the show description.